Okay, this is my very first recording. I decided it was time to speak out and get on a soapbox and start basically telling my story. The story of a targeted individual, someone that's been surveilled, stalked, hacked, harassed, screwed over, ripped off, and generally done over by a bunch of arseholes. I don't think there's a better word really, but so let me just give you a little bit of information about my story. I'm fairly new to this whole thing, so if you're looking for somebody that's really kind of eloquent and knowledgeable, somebody that's going to give you a clear framework as to how to sensibly resolve this whole situation, you need to keep looking, because you ain't going to get that from me. Basically, I have been selected not because I'm the second coming of Christ, or that I'm some kind of scientific genius that accidentally split some sort of atom and found themselves in splitting the matrix, and then the Antichrist came and devoured my soul. None of that really. It's really quite straightforward. I pissed off a mason, and shit went wrong from there really. I don't even know if I pissed them off. I think they just got a bit jealous and a bit weird and kind of insecure about me, and then decided that I was someone that needed to be handed over to the Gestapo, basically. So here I am. I'm a targeted individual. A little bit of information about my journey, really. It started I became aware of it about a year ago on my birthday. My family was involved, my father was involved. It's involved incredible resources. I've been followed halfway around the world, stalked, harassed, screwed over, and it's been quite a roller coaster ride. I'm not a superhero, and I say that, but I think you will find I'm developing superpowers, yeah. But we'll go into that another day. But I am going to get a cape for Christmas, because I think it's about time. I have earned my stripes and I deserve it. So without sort of pushing all that nonsense aside for a minute, my journey really kicked off about a year ago, while I was trying to study for a postgraduate at an undisclosed location called the university. The only reason I'm not going to out them and tell everybody about what's happened is because I'm still in the process of navigating this ridiculous situation with the university. But yeah, my coming out party happened there really, and I'm looking forward to kind of starting to tell that story. But right now I just want to kind of talk about the here and now. First of all, for those people that have just found themselves sort of immersed in this program and kind of realised that maybe there was something wrong, or something didn't quite work out, or family and friends started to reject them and they became increasingly isolated. If you're a creative, if you're smart, or if you've got something about you, if you stand on your own, kind of, if you've got kind of if you're morally superior to a lot of people around you, if you somebody that needs to kind of just express yourself and be yourself, then that's probably why you're in this situation. If you've got a spiritual leaning, and let me just define spirituality from my perspective really. When I say spirituality, I don't mean formal religion. I don't mean kind of reading scriptures every day. I'm really too lazy for that. But what I am is I've got a sense of, let me say, awareness and gratefulness about existence and people and things around me, and just general kind of green cross code kind of appreciation of humanity and of animals and of life really, and a sense that maybe there's more to life than the five senses, sex, drugs and rock and roll. There's more to it, and that's why I love creativity. That's why I love artistry. I love anything that's got elements of that interlaced within it. And I think that society is all the richer for it as well. And I don't like the way things are going in society at the moment. People are too busy grabbing money and screwing each other over. People will sell their own grandmother down the river for a few quid, and I see it all around me quite a lot. I don't want to get too cynical, but that's how I feel. So maybe, I've done loads of research on targeted individuals, and maybe there is a kernel of truth in the fact that, from what I can see, most of these people seem to be kind of quite emotionally intelligent, spiritually together. They've got something about them, this doesn't seem to be happening to arseholes, basically, because you need to be an arsehole to perpetrate the whole process, and so probably going to commandeer you straight away if you're prepared to stab each other in the back. And the thing is, I can't be bought or sold in that respect. I would never, for example, if someone could offer me £100,000 to throw a friend under the bus and perhaps just screw with their life a little bit, it's not going to happen. It's not coming from me. So that's probably why I've been selected to be put on this Gestapo-like social experiment that seems to be happening globally, and it comes from the very highest levels, and this whole process is designed to take away the individual's sense of self-actualization, and the building of the self through their interactions in the world. And once you start to break down that person's environment, their aim is to break down the individual ultimately to such a point that they will either destroy themselves, destroy someone else, or just give up, just be like a run-of-the-mill kind of generic robot, because that's really what they want. They're not looking for people that are kind of alert, aware, and prepared to kind of take risks and speak out and defend people and create things, and literally just not fall into those kind of social constraints. Yeah, sure, we're all under those constraints. We've all got to work, we've all got to find a living, we've all got to build these things, and I get that. But what I don't get is why other people need to damage or hurt other people. I'm not interested. It's not my style. And people who want to screw people over for whatever reason, it's a weak man's game. I think it takes courage to have a little bit of integrity and show a bit of respect in this world, in a world that really is geared towards kind of screwing the next man over, and it's getting worse. And I just think we're taking shortcuts, and the more we do it, the less options we're going to have, and the more we kind of take these social shortcuts on each other just for a quick buck or a short gain. I think the price of that, the long-term price on our kids and our kids' kids, and the way that society will be, I think it's going to really degrade who we are and what we're about. So yeah, I like a bit of yoga, and I like to meditate, and I like to keep myself fairly healthy. I don't really need to do someone else over to feel good about myself. We live in a beautiful world, apart from gang stalkers and perps who, for whatever reason, decide that it's really cool to fuck with someone's life. So yeah, I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to sort of post if and when I can, and try and document this process one step at a time, because I'm not, as I said before, I'm not really being exposed to this kind of whole electronic harassment or various things that people seem to be suffering under. I've got that to look forward to. That should be fun, but we're not there yet. So one step at a time. Over and out.
Hey, Daniel Lee Bowden, Somerset, Pennsylvania. This is to the U.S. military. Now, every day I look in the newspaper and get on Facebook, and doesn't matter where you look or where you go, there's another fucking U.S. military goddamn crying the blues. Now, you sick son of a bitches, like Paul said, and the spirit of Antichrist works already. Well, what's Antichrist coming for? To take over the world. One world order. How's the spirit of Antichrist working already? Well, the U.S. military are working for the one world order to take over the world. They're not working for America. When we over in Vietnam, coincidentally, they had the biggest oil reserves known at the time. The same way with North Korea when we was over there. We ain't been attacked since World War II. And that was a setup deal. Well, the only attack we had on our soil was whenever National Security trained a bunch of Muslims in Florida, you know, down there where they teach people to fly them planes on a flight simulator. Yeah, U.S. government controlled, and then them same people that were down there and studied and trained in Florida under national security, them same people flew them airplanes to the World Trade Center for the one world order so we could go over and bomb Iraq and flood their neighbors with refugees so we could control the oil.
People don't even realise. People will never realise until it's too late. I just want to speak about my symptoms. I've just written a list of what my symptoms are of this electronic type harassment that's going on. I've even found a website that sells the devices. Shock waves passing through me at night, like pulses, like a pulse waves. As soon as I'm going to sleep, it'll start.
Like a lot of people, I'm angry as well as upset about Phil's death. 32 years old, and he talked all the time of how he'd been targeted electronically for years. Nota bene, particularly at night.
That'll happen a couple of times before I manage to get to sleep, which I don't manage to get much of that. Constant tinnitus. I've got constant ringing in my ears all the time. It does my nutting. That's one of the most annoying things. Migraine. It's constantly getting headaches and migraines where I just don't know what's going on. It's like I'm going senile, like I've got senile dementia or something. Shaking constantly. I'm always shaking. You can probably see my arm shaking there. I don't know. Where's the camera? No, well, you can't see it. Feeling weak in the legs, like my legs tremble so much I can barely stand on them sometimes. That's just pure anxiety, pure stress. Racing thoughts. My thoughts are constantly racing. Constantly. You could put it down to any mental health disorder, but it's not. It's something that's actually happening. Grinding my teeth constantly. I'm always chomping down on my teeth, which I think that causes my headaches most of the time as well, because I'm constantly like that. Just feeling weak all over my body. It's just quite a lot. Not as much as my legs though. Sugary drinks seem to help for a short period of time. I'm sort of addicted to sugary drinks. I haven't got diabetes. I got my blood sugars tested the other day and they're fine, normal levels, but it's like I need sugary drinks to be able to function mentally. I think it's controlled by from high level organisations for this not to be better documented. It'd be more documented if it weren't something that was done from high up down the ladder. And watch out for people that may seem to surround you, that just seem to become your friends. It's probably good to be suspicious of them. It's natural to be paranoid as well when this is going on. Yeah, there's a website that sells these electronic devices. I've wrote it down. I better not say on here because it might get people wanting to buy them to fight back or something. I don't know, because I don't know the mentality of people that are being harassed in this way, and I don't want people to be doing it to others they suspect they're doing it, because then it's going to cause a whole cycle of events to happen that won't be good. And watch out for certain websites. They've got like encoded information, encoded words, changes of fonts to make you pick up certain parts in your subconscious. So they're going to trigger off something in your mind. They have with me before, and they freak this shit out of me. They're there to mess with you, basically. What else have I wrote? I think these electronic weapons could also be the cause of my sleep paralysis. I get sleep paralysis a lot, and I reckon they could be the cause. So, but maybe not. I'm going to be suspicious. I'm going to be thinking, are they the cause of this? Or is it the cause of that? But I know I'm being shocked at night. I know that, and I know I've been stalked and messed around with, and I know it. It's basically. It seems to you like it's everyone. That's what it's made to seem like anyway. But I can't say for definite who it is and who it isn't. What else? Yeah, like I said, it's only natural to be paranoid. These devices on the website I found even say they can cause paranoia if aimed at humans. It actually says that on the website. That's how crazy it is. It's very uncomfortable waves that come over you, but these things are used. It says to train your pet, things like that. But then there's even more high-powered things that can be fired through walls, that fire sound through walls, and that's what I think is the thing that's shocking people. So that's about it. I will put this online. I hope someone watches it and someone it helps. I don't know how it can help, but I suppose it's better to talk about it. Right, see you later.
Next up is Richard Deal from America. Richard's no longer with us either, having sought a way out of the death camp in October 2016 by terminating his own life. Thanks to him leaving testimony though, just as Phil did, here he is, through the looking glass.
Hi, my name is Richard Deal. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm here to talk to you guys tonight about my experiences with advanced technology and military-grade psychological weapons and the coming age of artificial intelligence, because what I believe I'm going through is a precursor to that. Pretty much what's happening is my thoughts are being read using advanced software that the military, local law enforcement, and members of our community are well aware of, and it's the mass public that's being brainwashed into thinking that these technologies aren't already in effect. I talked to you earlier on the phone. You said that 2049, you guys believe that this technology will already be in full effect, and that computers will be able to outthink us, outmaneuver us, have thoughts, emotions, all those things. I'm here to tell you that I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than that. Basically, what's happening to me is I'm experiencing thought reading, artificial telepathy, and experiencing auditory hallucinations that are all artificial. They're being communicated to me using these technologies, these psychological war weapons, if you will. You can Google things like the neurophone, brainwave analyzer, stuff like that. It's all pretty advanced software. But if you think about the technology that's involved and the way that they're able to make these things happen, it's pretty out of this world. Now, if you were to make the bridge to, say, an artificial intelligence robot walking into a bar, and this robot has these capabilities with these psychological weapons, these psychotronics, if you will, they could walk into the bar, read your mind and what you're thinking, and be able to act on you before you even know what you're about to do. It's a chess game that you have no chance of ever winning. And the implications of that are a nightmare in itself. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my best day to be broadcasted to anyone inside my head. I wouldn't want anyone to know any of my full thoughts completely. And it's not that I think weird or off the wall or anything like that, but it's personal. It's a complete invasion of privacy, and it's out of this world, man. But I can tell you that the things I'm experiencing are 100% accurate, 100% true, and there's not a doubt in my mind that the technology already exists, is in full effect, and our government, our military, is using this technology on the citizens of the United States. This is also a global problem, because this same technology is being used in Bulgaria, Germany, Europe, Colombia, Sweden, all over the world. And it's kind of like a global police. It's a new world order. It is Illuminati to the fullest, because this is Big Brother on steroids. They're able to read your thoughts, man. I mean, come on. How do you run from something like that? You can't. I'm currently a member of a TI community on Facebook, and there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us going through the same things, and I can tell you a little bit about how this works and what I've experienced with it. Basically, your thoughts get played back to you in real time. I think I've been going through it so long, I kind of imagine what their response is gonna be. So I'll think a thought, and they'll think whatever, and I'll anticipate what they're gonna say. Now, more often than not, it's a computer system that's actually playing this back. This computer system has a vocabulary of 60,000 plus words and is capable of anticipating your sentence before you make it. If you think a word, it'll finish the sentence for you. This system is also able to mimic the voices of people that you know and people around you. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, whatever. And They play tricks. This is by no means a good... It's not good technology. It's a nightmare. They don't use it for good, they use it for evil. They use it to tear apart your life, makes you question everything you are, make you doubt yourself and everything you believe in.
And this is Andre Bitar from Sydney in Australia. Andre's still with us, and he was Phil's best online buddy, really. And this is on a particularly bad day, it must be said, but we TIs all have them. So go on, Andre. Tell people as it is.
How we doing, folks? So what am I going to be talking about in this video, huh? Because I'm so fucking famous on YouTube, right? Fuck YouTube and fuck everyone else on YouTube, true? Because I couldn't give a fuck about fame. All I really give a fuck about is getting my story and my plight out to the people. Whoever gives a fuck, because I know many don't. And then many have been getting in on this program, right? Many have been getting in. I can't even fucking speak! I can't even speak anymore! They've taken my brain, they've taken my life, they've taken everything away from me. I can't even fucking think. Because of these directed energy weapons, because of this covert drugging, constant isolation. I've been alone for 6 years now. 6 years. These fucking walls are my friends. My dog is my friend. The only fucking friends I've got are these walls. And if anyone tells me that they're my friend, fuck off! If you're my friend, you'd be helping me getting out of this fucking prison, out of this slave trade that I'm in, out of this death camp. Because that's what this is. This is a death camp. And everyone's turning a blind eye. Everyone's ignoring my murder. They're murdering me. They're murdering me cold blood in public's eye. And the public's helping them. Not everyone. Certain people's in public helping them. Certain people!
Yes, as the saying goes, many a great friendship has been forged inside concentration camps. There are some amongst us too who have experienced fame and fortune, such as Stephen Shellen, who's to follow. He starred in movies alongside the likes of Brad Pitt, Nicolas Cage, to name but a few. All it brought him ultimately, though, was targeting. And these days he's blowing his whistle too. Indeed has been for some time. Check him out on Facebook and YouTube. And he has a website too, where you'll find a link to a film he produced himself. One called The Spark. And yes, you've guessed it, one about becoming / being a targeted individual. It's quality and well worth the small fee.
My name's Roger. Sir, may I be of some help?
That's funny. My name's Roger. Two Rogers don't make a right. Roger, I have a problem.
Yes.
I've been in LA for 3 months now. I have money, I have taste. But I'm not on anybody's A-list, and Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week for me.
Well, a Ferrari would certainly change that.
Perhaps. But you know, this is the one. Yes. I saw 3 of these parked outside the local Starbucks this morning, which tells me only one thing. There's too many self-indulgent wieners in this city with too much bloody money. Now, if I was driving a 1967 275 GTB4 Cam,
You would not be a self-indulgent wiener, sir. You would be a connoisseur.
Precisely. Champagne would fall from the heavens, doors would open, velvet ropes would part.
I don't have one here. However, I do have one in the warehouse.
Superb. What else do you have in the warehouse?
Newspaper and magazine companies, well, media companies per se, pay fortunes to people like Steve who've climbed the ladder in Hollywood. Their readers, viewers, whatever, can't get enough of their stories. But not to Steve these days, though, because he's a TI, which is the way it is for us. Ostracised and isolated. Here's a snippet for free, though, here on TI TV. and we intend to follow up with more of him. To help bolster his profile once more and alert people to his shocking plight, aid and abet him and others in getting their stories out.
So yes, we had some lean times, but Florence didn't work. My wife at the time didn't work. There's no reason, but we survived. I'd sold my house in Los Angeles to pay my lawyer fees, hoping this would finally end with Felina Houston. It never did. Or it did eventually, but certainly not then. It dragged on for years after that. And I was paying child support, by the way. And I also had to pay my lawyer fees and her lawyer fees. So that's why the public defender defended me. And he said it was the worst miscarriage of justice he'd seen in LA County. And that's before, this is before the shit hit the fan. This is before my son was threatened. This is before I came home to find bruises on my wife's face and my children telling me about men hitting Mummy and her admitting to being a prostitute. But what's amazing to me, all my friends, and I had a lot. I had a theater company in a bar in Los Angeles. I was partners in the bar with Jim Budman and Richard Condon. Budman's brother owned Roots. Anyway, yeah, I had a lot of friends. But when this happened, gone. Everyone gone. Every single person gone. So I went to France, did that film, hoping that, I'll buy some time and people will finally tell me what's going on and who's threatening my son. They never did. They just harassed the shit out of me for years. My children were illegally taken to France, and I was continually harassed. But that movie was the worst experience I've ever had on a film set. It was called The Reckoning. I don't even know what they call it now. I played a child trafficker. I'm forced into a movie. Threatened with the lawsuit if I don't do it because Lisa Kirk has agreed behind my back that I'll do this film. They gave me more money than what my going rate was. They gave me more money than what they said they were going to give me for per diem. It's the money you receive for your daily expenses. It was unbelievable. Why did they want to have me in France on that movie playing a child trafficker? Why was that so urgent? And what the hell was wrong with this Fred Gerber guy to treat me like shit? Like worse than some rabid dog on the street. He treated me, I can't even tell you. And I was brokenhearted because I just found out my children are being abused. No, they leaned on her. They said they weren't going to hire any of her actors if she didn't get rid of me, probably. But this is what they can do to you. And I didn't know until, 2003, that there were other people that had gone through the same kind of targeting I was going through, the same kind of gang stalking harassment. And it's funded by government agencies. And they do it all around the world in different countries. So you want to get in the acting business? You think it's just about talent and, No. I didn't do anything. I didn't steal from anyone. They stole from me. They have destroyed my life. US, Canada, Australia. Primarily, I think. England. But it goes on all over. They mind fuck you. And if you go for any kind of mental health, any help, well, you're diagnosed as what? Delusional, worst case schizophrenic. I went to shrinks and I went to doctors. I was lucky. When I first went to a psychiatrist, I cried in her office and told her what was going on. She said, I don't know what to prescribe you because I don't believe you're mentally ill or suffering from any type of mental illness. But I don't know how to help you with this. She knew I was telling the truth, and I didn't hold back. That saved my life in some ways, because I had a little bit of understanding where the friends and the agents and the ex-producers and directors are all screaming, forget about your fucking kids and maybe you'll work again. Like that was ever an option. No, you forget about your kids. Unbelievable, heartless. So when I hear about ritual abuse, when I hear about pedophilia in Hollywood and obviously entertainment all over the world, Canada's the worst in some ways. One phone call, you're finished in Canada. That's it, you're done. They steal from you, and then we're going to go out of our way to make you, make you appear nuts. We're just going to take everything. No one will ever believe you. How many times have I heard that? No one will ever believe you. Taunting me. Hit on my life. This guy that was sent up to put a hit on me actually told me the truth after I read him a letter where my ex-wife said, I betrayed you, lied to you, cheated you, saved the children from me. Morgan won't survive, my son, because he's older and he's been around you and knows what love is. Lily, my younger daughter, she may survive because she hasn't been around you as much, so she doesn't know what love is. Oh, that letter didn't mean anything to any of those people. And there I was just, trying to swim to shore, but there was no shoreline. So making it in Hollywood was easy peasy compared to surviving this, what I have lived through for 23 years. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, so I'll do another video, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But I'm going to keep on the Hollywood thing, the entertainment business, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, these cities where lots of films are shot, and what can happen to you watching who wants to be an actor. This could happen to you. And it doesn't mean you did anything wrong or even pissed anyone off. It can be as simple as they stole from you.
Understand that whilst the idea of watching yourself on television, or the silver screen even, may seem appealing to many, but you should know that once you're on camera and made known to millions, you are in the sights of and thereafter controlled by these criminals, a person of interest. And if you won't be controlled, then, well.
Tried to lose me again and again, and when she went by the name of Old Rawhide. About 10 years before, she had been elected beauty queen of Wolf Creek. She had ridden bareback, standing up through the 100 inhabitants, mostly male. Her skirts flew high, and she won the contest.
Steph, I couldn't feel my hands. I'm thinking about my dog Sport that's with me. I'm thinking if it gets any colder, I just may have to slit them open and stick my hands in to keep them from freezing. And it would have been a tough thing to do. But I did it before up at the Yukon. God knows I love that damn dog.
She still wore the divided skirts of a horsewoman, although they must have been a hardship in her new profession.
And there on a branch, waiting to jump on their first deer, is the goddamn otter.
Hey, Buster. What's an otter doing on the top of Rogers Pass? I thought they swam down in the creeks.
Jack, why don't you bring this lady a whiskey?
Next up is Abdelrahman Abdallah, who a couple of years back befriended me on Facebook. Though he's no longer with us, as he too shortly beyond this in August 2017 opted out by taking his own life though again left testimony.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you. Hello everyone. I am Abdurrahman Mahmoud, a targeted individual, also basically a TI from North London. Before I start, I want to swear by Allah, while holding the Holy Scripture, the Holy Quran. I want to swear by Allah that I will tell the truth to the best of my knowledge, and that I will not add or take away anything from my harassment. Basically, it's been almost 2.5 years, 3 years, I don't know. Maybe they've been watching me for more than that. But, seems like these guys are not leaving me alone, and I've been sleep deprived for the past couple of days. They've been doing the V2K non-stop every single day for a very long time. I can't remember. Sometimes I lose track of time because of the fact that I just think about this all the time. I try to work, but they still broadcasting voices through microwave to me. I try to plead with them and tell them, just leave me alone. Like, you already ruined my life. You already ruined my marriage. They're not leaving me alone. I try and disrespect them, diss them, be like, yeah, you motherfuckers, this, that. I'm sorry for the language. But what they do back is basically, they just either watch you because they don't care, because they have the upper hand, because they're the ones who's stalking you, or just like last night, a couple of perps on the V2K got really upset and said, oh, your ex-wife, this and that. And they spoke, basically they said, they spoke about how they watched us, me and my ex-wife, make love and stuff like that, and they insulted her because they know, that would kind of get to me. But that's fine. Anyways, I am trying to, come up with a deadline for these people, because to be honest with you guys, all the other TIs out there, I cannot live like this. And I'm telling you, these people are turning me into a Manchurian candidate. They want me to do something, and this is why they're torturing me. And the funny thing about this is, I am a law-abiding citizen. I never broke a law. I never harmed anybody, but I feel like I'm right now, like, my back is against the wall, that these people cornered me basically from everywhere. And even when I went to Holland, I could still hear them. They make me dizzy, they play games with me. Like, I even developed this like sudden body movements. I don't know what you guys call them. It has a name probably, like I just twitch, and it's weird. I can't control it. And apparently I googled, I told my doctor. He said, oh, there's nothing. This was time ago, and it's caused because of them, because of the stress. This has happened purely out of like torture and stress. Basically, the torture that they're doing to me is stressing me out so much that is having literally a physical effect on me. Plus the long-term consequences of microwave cancer, blah blah blah, etc. These people seem to be playing games with me, like for the past couple of days, when they, of course, I already said in my other videos that, they are the MI5 or COINTEL, Community Intelligence Police, anything, one of them, doesn't matter, and they just work for the government. That's why I know. And basically, yesterday and the day before, they were just saying a bunch of lies there, including they're all gays, and they stalked me because I look mixed race. They stalked me because I wanted to have 4 wives, some shit like that, because I used to joke about that kind of stuff with my friends. They stalked me because basically I smoked weed, shit like that. Also, they say, what else? And they stalked me because my Romanian neighbors next door, the ones that I thought were calling me terrorist and stuff like that, right at the beginning of my harassment. I don't know if they're involved with them, or can they use their voices. I have no idea the extent of their technology, but it is amazing. Like, it's crazy basically what they could do, and the fact that they're hiding this from people. Also, it's like, so they say we stalked you because these guys were racist and we thought you're a terrorist, but the truth is they know, because they've been stalking me for years. Did they chip me back in 2014 when I went for my hyperhidrosis? I don't know, but I know one thing right now, and it is, if they do not stop this surveillance, I will do something about it. And I did not want, God knows, I do not want to do anything. I do not want to break the law. I do not want to harm anyone. but I feel like I'm trapped, and these people are trying to make me a Manchurian candidate. And with this torture, sleep deprivation, V2K 24 hours a day.
So young, so full of light, and so full of promise. So tragic. And no offense whatsoever is meant towards the victims and families of the Florida State University shootings back in November 2014. By the inclusion of the following clip, that is, as it's of the perpetrator. But Myron May, a lawyer, was to my mind a genuine targeted individual, and driven, given this, to commit the awful crimes he did. I fully understand the capabilities of mind control, and would suggest therefore that those whom were injured and or traumatized by his actions are also victims of the targeted individual program. Something the words of Abdul Rahman only serve to emphasize.
It's with a heavy heart that I am in front of you now to make this video. Kind of my last words. It's really unfortunate that I have to make this video. You see, I am a victim of covert harassment and electronic harassment and gang stalking. I'm what's called a targeted individual. There are thousands of targeted individuals in the United States of America, and we unfortunately are subjected to some pretty heinous treatment, which I'll detail in this video. You can find out more about what a targeted individual is simply by Googling or YouTubing the words targeted individual or gang stalking, and you'll see the videos and postings and articles and stuff like that about what a targeted individual is. And on YouTube, you'll actually hear the stories of other targeted individuals, the videos that they posted about what their experiences are. They won't be that different from what you hear from me today. I think mine might be a little bit more comprehensive in explaining exactly what a targeted individual is and what a targeted individual experiences on a day-to-day basis.
Nobody can do anything for you. So you only have God. So I realized if I only have God and these people won't leave me alone, and they say we're going to watch you for the rest of your life for 3 years, and you don't know what's real and what's not anymore. So I decided, to be honest, to not be afraid anymore. I decided that I don't care what happens. So to all the TIs, if anything happens to me, if for some reason these people are labeling me terrorist on the news or anything like this, I want you to come out and to take that chance to possibly free yourself from the surveillance. If you can, protest and tell people that TIs are real, because they're gonna hide this under the whole terrorist umbrella. This is what they do. And it's so funny how all these people that done terrorist attacks knew the MI5 before they done it. The MI5 said, oh, we knew these guys, but we stopped watching them. But I'm telling you, if anything happens to me, the MI5 is doing this to me right now. They are actually pushing me down this road. And you say, what is your proof? To be honest, there's not many proofs other than the people that I can point at, the ones that took me to the masjid, that done the speech. I know their faces, I know some of their names, I know where I worked and how they tried to recruit me, and they knew basically that I wouldn't be recruited. I don't want to work for them. I don't want to be a spy. I don't want to spy on people's private lives. They spied on me, and I'm an innocent citizen. I've never broken a law, and they done this to me. They damaged me so much. I have I can't trust, like, I can't make new friends. I can't trust people because any of them can be perp. Like, they they ruined my marriage. Like, they made me suspect my wife is an agent. So you can imagine the psychological trauma that they caused me. And yet I'm still here, and I'm trying to start if a new page, and they won't let me. So I realize I don't have plenty of options. So I'm either gonna be I'm gonna be very dead soon, or I'm gonna be in prison for the rest, maybe, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. And God knows I don't want any of them. I want to be free and just live my life in peace. But that doesn't seem to be an option, when you deal with this type of harassment. Like, these people think they're above the law. These cowards know that they will not be held accountable for everything they do, because after they made me divorce my wife, if they were actually on the side of the law, if they were like legit, they would actually back off and be like, okay, we made a mistake with this guy. But they did not. They continued to harass me. They continued to send kids. Like, they would actually send kids and kids would say AIDS, because they told me your ex-wife had AIDS. One of the things they told me, along the fact that she's a lesbian, MI5, an atheist, and they said all these lies. And the thing is, when people tell you shit like all the time, like, especially at that back then, I did not know it was remote neural monitoring. I did not know these people were in my head, so I had to believe them. I didn't know there's a technology out there that people can read your mind, can see your thoughts, and can telepathically communicate with you. So let this be in the record that Abdurrahman Abdullahi Mahmoud did not submit to their will. I only submit to God's will. And let it be in the record that, I am willing to fight back, and I will fight back one way or another. Like, I'll find out something to do, because you can't plan nothing when these people are in your head. And that's it, really. I just want to tell people, like, they will say terrible stuff about me. Like, they will say, oh, he was a terrorist, he's ISIS or some shit like that. But I swear to God, no allegiance to ISIS, no violent history, never been in prison. I actually would love, I think if they ask people close to me, my friends and family, they will say I am a kind person, like, so I know I'm not a bad person. Maybe this is why they chose me. They thought, okay, this guy cannot do shit about the harassment. If we, like, he's just gonna sit there and maybe submit or just live with it, and we can experiment on him. Maybe that's why they don't choose violent people. Maybe that's why most of TIs are either, most of them are women, and even the men, like, they're just like very friendly, like very gentle people. So this is why they choose these people, because they know these people cannot retaliate. That's why they're not choosing a violent person. So from here, I want to say to everyone I knew, like, don't believe things you hear from me. Like, if you haven't seen me for a while, it's because I've been going through this torture, and it's overwhelming, to be honest. This is all I have to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Namaste. How we doing, folks? Today I'm not too well. I'm in severe pain. My shoulder, my hip, throughout my back, my neck, my spine. My neighbour's absolutely radiating me day and night. Also using frequency tones to pacify me, put me into a sleepy state, so I'm always tired. Got bags under my eyes no matter how much I sleep. It doesn't do anything, and the pain doesn't go away because they just keep radiating me and causing more pain. It's really hit me really hard, and I'm in extreme pain. There's absolutely no limit to what these people will do. They're just sick, and they're just set in their ways. They probably look at us and think that we deserve it, because that's what the other neighbour said to me when I was being assaulted. He looked down at me and just said, yeah, you deserve it. So that's another story altogether. This is what these people are like. They'll drug you they'll weaken you. They'll financially weaken you so you can be physically weak and have, you know, no proper nourishment in your life, no proper nourishing food on a regular basis to weaken you, weaken your mind, weaken your soul, weaken you physically. And then they attack you on all levels and expect you to uphold some type of noble social moral etiquette, and once you step off the line, boom. As I said in previous videos, very carefully well orchestrated program, and there are various members involved, and for various reasons too, for various benefits. Bloke next door, all I know is he's got to stop fucking hitting me with these direct energy weapons, because they really hurt. He's really hurting me with them. I haven't been able to move around or go anywhere in the last couple of weeks because of these directed energy weapons. So it's a level of oppression. I'm being oppressed by my belongings being vandalized and my food being taken. I'm being physically lashed, but from a distance, remotely, with directed energy weapons, weaponized microwave devices, and frequencies to pacify my conscious and subconscious mind. And they also are covertly drugging me. This is a very high level of oppression for someone that hasn't done anything wrong. And I've been living like this for 6 years now, and I haven't done anything wrong, but yet the police and all and sundry don't do a thing about it or play a big role in it. Without getting too nitty and gritty with all the details about why and how and this and that, I'm not going to do that. The fact of the matter is, this is what's happening. And there's no one out there that's actually doing anything to stop it. It's not only happening to myself, it's happening to other people on a mass scale. But yet I'm still able to see other TIs that are able to have cars, are able to have clothes. I wear the same clothes every single day. I wear the same pair of pants every single day because they will ruin them. I wear the same pair of shoes every single day, otherwise they will come into my house and ruin them, because I can't own anything. My blankets and my pillows are ruined. My clothing is ruined. Everything I own gets ruined by these people. They come in and they pick the stitching on the clothes and uncoil it so it can come apart at the seams. They poke holes in your clothes. They take things. And even though I'm making this video right now, they would watch it and they would laugh at the fact that they're able to do this and punish and torture me in a form of human trafficking type situation and get away with it. This is a very high level of oppression in a modern day setting. And somebody out there's got to start doing something about it, because I don't know, I don't think people can live like this for very long. And I don't think they should have to. For whatever reason they are deemed to be put into this style of living. It's actually disgusting that a human being has to be forced to this style of living. While the perpetrators that force this human being into this kind of style of living, this standard of living, get away with it and laugh. And it's happening on a mass scale. Which is why you never see the puppeteers. They're always lurking in the backdrops. People call them handlers, I call them puppeteers. They keep at a safe distance. Even the perps do. But hey, it's got to come to an end sometime, eh?
Listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy.
I'm trying fucking hard, I'm not lying, I'll be scarred. I'm crouched down in my room, I'm feeling a sense of total doom. They're using microwaves to make us behave, they're using microwaves to send us to say, they're using microwaves to put us in our graves. Whatever they're using is making me sick. Experimentation of the whole fucking nation, stopping me even being able to play the PlayStation. We've been pumped full of radiation, we're trying to tell the whole nation. They've got us in like caged animals, you just can't see the walls. I'm trying fucking hard, I'm not lying, I've been scarred. I'm crouched down in my room, I'm feeling a sense of total doom. They're using microwaves to make us behave, they're using microwaves to send us insane, they're using microwaves to put us in our graves. Whatever they use is making me sick. Experimentation of the whole fucking nation, stopping me being able to play the PlayStation. We've been pumped full of radiation, we're trying to tell the whole nation. They've got us in like caged animals, you just can't see the walls. I'm trying fucking hard, I'm not lying, I'll be scarred. I'm crouched down in my room, I'm feeling a sense of total doom. They're using microwaves to make us behave, they're using microwaves to send us insane, they're using microwaves to put us in our graves. Whatever they use is making me sick. Experimentation of the whole fucking nation, stopping me from being able to play the PlayStation. We've been pumped full of radiation, we're trying to tell the whole nation. They've got us in like caged animals, you just can't see the walls.
You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy. You should listen to me, baby, one more time and you go quite crazy.
Now, before I round off this latest deprogram, on a personal front, and for the record, I wish to highlight to people why the original Vice documentary it relates to came about in the first place. Because initially, they weren't on the trail of targeted individuals per se. They were pursuant of information on another friend of mine who's no longer with us. That person being Max Spears. And notably, I've said nothing publicly concerning Max's death since he was lost to us too. But I'm going to be doing so. Just as I am re certain other individuals in the alternative media sector and the so-called TI community as well. So stay tuned. The truth on so much will out, no doubt. Though there is one person I'm going to be singling out for some special attention in the here and now. Somebody I can't identify due to YouTube's community rules, but will be covering matters on my blog if you care to visit that. The relevant initial post to check out is entitled Operation U-Lot Tree, Meeting the Targeted Individual Community. As unbeknown to me for up to a year, this to my mind, extremely disturbed individual ran an online smear campaign against me. One so serious, it did prompt me into contacting the police in America, who shortly will be receiving a detailed written report proving that what she's been claiming is absolute fallacy. Finally, this is Desiree Foley, the partner Richard Deal whom featured earlier sadly left behind. Desiree too is a TI and works tirelessly to help promote the cause of others. She's the vice president of an organisation called People Against Covert Torture and Surveillance International, PACTS International abbreviated. And Phil Leek would have been proud to know people had donated to a TI organisation in his name. And it would be fitting also, we feel, that they do so to an organisation Mr. Deal is affiliated to as well. Desiree can be found on Facebook. She does recorded interviews too, you'll find. And to follow is the website address for PAX, for those who wish to contribute. Thank you.
All these targeted people, or I'll just call us individuals, a lot of us are a bit paranoid, but we can determine who's involved with this crap and who's not. Lovely. We're all filming now, capturing everything on film. Even I've started it, it's ridiculous. It's like we don't have our own memory banks now. We've got, oh, there's my mum. Let's just shoot past her and have a look at the old seafront there. A windmill, I think, somewhere. Oh, there. Loads of them in the distance. That's just 64 times zoom. There's the cormorants too, plenty of them on the rocks there. I don't know if you can see them. Wow, look, it's opening its wings. And sorry about my shakiness if anyone watches this. I'm a very anxious human fellow. What would you like to say?
There's a cormorant swimming in the sea over there.
There's a cormorant swimming in the sea over there. Sorry to repeat what you're saying. Oh yeah, it's like a little duck.
Yeah.
A big duck. Lovely little creatures. Aiming at them is nearly impossible though.
Yeah.
You've got ships in the sea and all sorts. See, it's a nice place to be. It's a lovely place to be. The cliffs seem to feel, I don't know, maybe they block signals from bloody phone towers or something. I don't know. Always feel a bit better around these cliffs